What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the Diamond Kingdom. It's the Diamond Line, and today I'm going to show you guys some work that has been going on our amusement park. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like the channel. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these kinds of videos, and who knows, if this video does well, maybe I'll do more videos similar to this. So without further ado, let's get into our amusement park. There's a lot of excitement around this park because I have done a lot of work over here. A lot has been going on, and I want to give you guys some updates on pretty much everything over here. So basically, I have an entire resort built. We have a big hotel here. It's kind of the motel, it's like the lower version of our hotels, and it's not complete because we are still doing landscaping and things like that. We have a really big hotel over here. And of course, we'll eventually get to that stuff. But there's a lot going on in this world. And it's been a lot of fun kind of just going through and building this kind of stuff. So first off, I think it's best we start off at the main gate, right? So here is our new parking lot. This is all really new. And I kind of saw it on this side, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Compared to the old parking lot, I had to redo this side as well. It bothered me how nice this looked compared to the other side. So eventually we'll be doing that. Um, and a lot of that has to do with the expansion plans I have over there. So this is not 5 years, this is 5 months. So that is what the 5 is for, and I did this around Valentine's Day. So usually, depending on the time of year, I'll put some kind of fun, like, pixel art, and it was around Valentine's Day, so it's how long it's been since I've been on here. This is the Emporium. I've done a lot of work to the Emporium. It looked a little different on the outside back in the day, so I recently updated it, and it looks a lot nicer. This is basically the big store that, when you're leaving the park, instead of going through the gates to go out, you have to go through the shop, right? Because, of course, you had a great day, you had a lot of fun. Why don't you pick up some merchandise on your way out? So that's where the Emporium, that is where you get all that stuff. On the other side here is actually a restaurant called The Plaza. And this restaurant is basically, in the mornings before we open up, you have basically breakfast here. There's tons of places here to go. I have to add more theming around this top part because it seems very dry in here. But in terms of the actual build itself, I'm really happy about it. And like you can see there, you can also enter here from the park. So once you're done eating, if the park is open, you can just go right into the park. So that's the plaza. We've done a lot of work up here to the main gate. I think I had an old video of what the main gate used to look like. Major renovations here. Really happy with this, how this turned out. We have the new fountain, which I'm really happy with the fountain here. It's nothing really complicated, but I think it looks nice. We also have our new banners. Usually these are around the time of year, so these have actually been up since Christmas because red and white, kind of a Christmassy thing, but I think for Valentine's that worked too, so I think I left that. This is all the ticket booth, so this is where you get your tickets. This is not complete either, but it is a work in progress. So you've got your tickets here, and then the entrance, which is, of course, right here. Come through the metal detectors, right? Scan your tickets, and then you come in. And here we are at the main entrance area, and there is the Plaza Restaurant. This is the customer service area, so this is where you get like your strollers and things like that. And like I said, not complete, but it's coming along. Now this is something that I came up with myself, and I think it's actually kind of fun. And I think these cows actually turned out pretty good. But this place it looks like a cow, right? So this is called Moo Moo Milkshake. And Moo Moo Milkshake is pretty easy to explain, right? Moo Moo Milkshake has milkshakes. So you buy your milkshakes here, you sit down in the little seats. That's pretty much it, but I really love the name of that one. So that's Moo Moo Milkshake. Over here, I don't know what this was. I've had kind of a problem with this area. I'm trying to figure out what I want it to be. It is an empty room. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it quite yet, but that's over here as well. Of course, the main attraction right at the front gate here is the big giant Ferris wheel. I'd like to update it a little bit because it does look a little bit odd, especially with the way it's all kind of shaped, but that's something I'll eventually work on. But for now, it works. It does, you know what it is, right? You don't really need the sign to see it. It is a Ferris wheel. This is kind of just a globe, and I thought it would be kind of fun to put something like a fun decoration at the front entrance, and we have some weird pattern here on the floor. No real meaning to it. Eventually I'd like to do something with it, but for now it works. So this, as you can tell, kind of by the art and the building, and of course the massive sign, this is the cookie house. So the cookie house, again, kind of like Moo Moo Milkshake, pretty self-explanatory. This is where you get your cookies. So you got your rows of cookies you can eat, sit down. Of course you have bathrooms here, because why wouldn't you have bathrooms? You got the I Love Cookies sign over there. And yeah, I'm really happy with the architecture with these newer buildings I've been creating. They really came out nice. It actually looks like a tower. I really love how this came out, and the way the mud bricks, or the mushroom whatever, the mushroom block with it almost looks like chocolate chips on there, right? So, and I recently built this whole banner and the kind of the overhang for the cookie house. Love how this turned out. Really, really, really happy with that. Over here is the coffee shop, kind of your Starbucks without being Starbucks. Again, the exterior is kind of boring, but I think it works, and it doesn't take away too much. And of course, it's not complete, but the bathrooms are done. And I think this came out really good. The blend with the white wall and the brown, I think that really turned out nice. And back here, you've got the kitchen. So that is all back here, just like that. Again, a lot of these buildings are fairly empty, and that is one of the things I'd like to work on. Over here you've got your carousel. Again, we've done some recent work over here as well. I'm really happy, again, with how these turned out, and I don't know, it works. It doesn't always have to be the most fancy. It's simple, but it works. I'm really happy with this one too. This is now coming into the main area of the park, and this is the teacup ride, and I think this came out really nice, this kind of canopy thing. So you've got your teacups in there, and then of course your canopy to kind of show it off. And this is one of my favorite buildings for sure. So that's the teacups. Eventually I'm going to have a train station that goes throughout the park, so that's what this is going to be. But for right now, it is just kind of empty. There is nothing to it. There has been some changes here. You can see I kind of decorated this a little more. Over here we've got the hot air balloons. So that's why there's a bunch of hot air balloons here. I thought that would be kind of a fun touch. So that's there. We also built a maze. I didn't really know what to put in here, but I think a maze was kind of a fun build, and that's kind of where this ended up going. So this is your maze. Not really that complicated, but you have a maze. Kind of jetting off to the side now. So this is not done yet, but eventually this is going to be Discovery Island. So I have a lot of plans for Discovery Island and what's going to go over here. We have a couple shops that we're working on. It's more of like a steampunk look. That's what I'm going for over here. It's a little different. I don't know if I really like it or not yet, but let me know what you guys think. This is obviously the beginning of Discovery Island, so this is all going to be that Discovery Island area. And then you've got some of the shops that kind of transition from the main entrance area over to the island. So now that we're over here, this is one of the newer additions to the area, and this is the jungle. This is something that, there's not a ton of space here, and I think the best way for me to kind of close it off from everything else was just putting a ton of big trees and lots of foliage to kind of block out the other lands. It's one of those lands that you kind of have to go pretty far in to get into it, but that's kind of how it kind of aligned itself. This is a, I don't remember calling this, Explorer's Cookies. So the Explorer cookie, you get to pick your own cookies, right? You get to pick your own cocoa beans, and then you get to eat them. Over here you have the Jungle Caverns attraction. That is not done yet, but eventually I'll show you that. We've also got the Amazonium gift shop. So this is just a little gift shop, nothing too insane here, but just a little merchandise you can buy in this area. Again, like I said, it's very enclosed. One of the downsides of this area, and you just look at it on a bigger map here, you can see how it's wedged in between that land and that land. So this is a very narrow area, unfortunately. Alright, so going back down, it is worth it though, because once you get to the back of this area, we have, I believe I called this the Jaguar Restaurant. What did I call this? The Leopard Lounge. There we go. I knew it had something to do with some kind of cat. I really like how this came out. I love the way the lanterns look, the way all of this kind of came together. It's more of like a regal looking thing, and I love the colors, the way the colors go together. I was really impressed with this, and it turned out way better than I actually thought it would. You can see you got a little canopy for it as well. So there you go. And this is the flagship attraction, and this is Jungle Falls, and I don't remember if it is complete yet. Maybe I'll do a full video on this attraction just so you guys can see that. But Jungle Falls is by far the biggest development I have had so far on this land. But look how massive the show building is. It's a big attraction. So I'll probably take you guys through that in its own video. So getting out of the Amazon, heading back to our little more of a historic land. This is more of, if you're thinking of like Disney, this is more like the Liberty Square, Port Orleans Square area. You come in here, you've got your theater and your stage show. You have the Liberty Bell with the American flag. You've got some shops here, more classic colonial type shops. Reminds you of back in the day. Same thing here, very basic, but does the job. And then over here, this is the gazebo, and this gazebo actually takes you on our roller coaster. So this is the Golden Eagle roller coaster, and I was very much debating whether I wanted a big roller coaster in a colonial area, and I decided to actually do it. I'm kind of torn about it. I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. But that's kind of what that is. I think it came out really nice though. It's not really too big, but it does the job. And it kind of just takes you around this whole area. Really happy with this one too. This is just an added thing. It doesn't really do anything, but it's just a gazebo. So we've got that there. Going through the land a little bit. Of course, in this type of area, you need a haunted mansion. So I have a haunted house here, but it is not open. I don't really know what to do with it. I'm trying to create a backstory and things like that, but I just don't know what I want to do with it. And the building looks really nice. I picked out a design. I kind of went with it. Love the exterior. It's beautiful, but I don't really know what to put inside of it. And that's kind of where we're at with this. You can see I kind of have a framework. I'll give you a little sneak peek, but that's about it. Really not much done over there. And you can see all this expansion land. Eventually, we will be utilizing that space. So moving to, I would say probably my favorite land of the park, no doubt about it, absolutely, is this area. This is the Medieval Kingdom. And I really love how this land turned out. This is a pretty basic land, but there's a lot involved in it. And right here, you can see the sign, the Medieval Kingdom. You come in, there's a fountain. I love these new lanterns I put in recently. So you've got this, and you've got a bunch of food stands. So you've got, I guess, like cookers, stuff like that. You have your popcorn. I don't think I put anything there. Oh, that's the bathrooms. That's why. And then a pretzel or pizza. Monarchy pizza. So you could get your own medieval pizza. And this is the Dragon's Battle, and this is a really fun attraction. And like I said, I'll probably do an entire video on this attraction, but this is probably going to get redeveloped at some point because it is very basic, but one of the bigger projects here on our land here. And the castle looks really good. I'm really happy with how this came out. So I really haven't touched it much, but I think that's because I just enjoy that ride and I don't really want to change it, but I think at some point we will be making some changes. So this is part of an expansion area, and this is really cool. This is actually a theater show, and you come in here, you sit in the waiting rooms, right? And I really love this part, really nice. So it's, of course, it's a very popular thing here. And this is where you sit down, and it's a medieval show. They put on a little medieval show. They've got all these, you know, the characters come around and come up to you, the actors. And yeah, I think this was a fun project. I enjoyed this one quite a bit. So that is the medieval theater show. What else do we got here? Oh yeah, so this is the Dragon Den Diner. This recently went under refurbishment, and it looks a lot better now. So hopefully you guys like this. I think I redid the interior. It's still pretty small, but it does the job. So that's the Dragon Den Diner. This is all new too. At one point I wanted to put a drop tower in here, but it just didn't work out. So for now it's just empty, but like I said, eventually I would love to put some kind of tower drop ride in there. And this is all new too. This building, pretty small, gift shop, but that's there. You have some bathrooms over here. Kind of continuing that medieval theme, you have another restaurant here. Just continuing to keep that capacity, right? The regal table. I like the interior of this one. This is one of the few where I really put more detail into it, and I think it paid off. I really like that one. There's just a mini coaster for the little guys, right? And this is the Kiddie Knight coaster, right? So the kids, the knights in training, come over here and they go on this little roller coaster tucked into the corner. You have a nice little fountain here, nothing crazy. And then, so this is all fairly new, this area over here. So now we go to the western area, and that is the last area that is actually complete right now. So this area has kind of been in an identity crisis because, you know, right here you can see this building. This is more of a like Spanish colonial building, and it kind of fits the western theme, but also it just, I don't know. I started going with that, and then I started going with the legit like South American, Mexico type of theme, and that's kind of where it ended up. So you've got the bronze bull, which is our statue here, and actually came out better than I expected, but it could use some work. And this is right here. Again, pretty basic, but it's a restaurant. Over here, you've got the Tasty Taco, which is, of course, that's where you get tacos. Here is the Saloon Theater. It's kind of a weird setup. This is supposed to be the entrance. You come through, you see the stage show, which it's more of just a kind of whatever act is available comes out, goes up there, and then you exit. And then you go to the saloon here as well. This is where you enter, a bunch of entrances from either side, and then you exit out these doors. So that's that. Kind of continuing that like kind of Spanish Mexican colonial area. You've got the El Rancho Mercantile. So that is right here. I like that one. This is the Bronze Bull roller coaster. So you got the Bronze Bull restaurant, and then you've got the Bronze Bull roller coaster over here. And this is a fun coaster. Obviously the fencing took a little bit of time, but definitely worth it. So I really like this ride. I'd like to expand more around it over on this side. You can see we started working on a little bit here, but not really. I don't know. I kind of didn't have the true motivation to do it, so I'm kind of waiting to see if I come up with a better idea. And eventually this is going to be kind of a space-themed area, kind of like a future Futureland or Spaceship Land or something like that. And I kind of have the framework for what I want to do. It's going to be a pretty small land, but that's all right there. So that's it for the amusement park today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I had a lot of fun showing it to you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed it, if nothing else. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can see when I give you guys more updates. And I'd love to show you guys the rest of my area here because we have a couple hotels, restaurants, resorts, things like that. So yeah, hopefully you guys stay tuned and stick around. Thanks again, guys. I'll see you again next time.